Cross-selling is probably one of the most brought up topics on the show from the elite agencies. In my conversations with them, both on the show and in some of the studies that we've done, they religiously track policies per customer. And very often they're tracking that metric over all of the other metrics, and they're putting an exponential importance on that. For today, we wanted to pull together some of our favorite conversations that we've had where these elite agencies are breaking down their cross-sell process. And so without further ado, let's get to some of our favorite cross-sell moments. Chris, I finally got you on the show, which I'm excited about. I think most of the people listening to this show will have at least heard your name. If they haven't heard you talk specifically, with Paradiso Insurance, you guys have over 50 employees. You've won the Safeco and Liberty Mutual National Agent for the Future Award. There's no lack of accomplishments, both in the space and outside of the space. But an area today I really want to dive into, and I'll even share just in our conversation earlier, where you said real growth starts with retention. What does that mean?
Retention is the foundation of every single agency. You know what that solid foundation is built on? Communication. Emails are for information. Phone calls are for communication. The only way you're going to communicate is by picking that phone up. Yes, email still plays a role. You drip on them, and we're sending questionnaires. Has anything changed? Have you added a dog? Have you added any pets? That's for information. But the communication aspect is, hey, I got your questionnaire back from the email. I noticed that you added a dog. You don't have an umbrella right now. You have $300,000 of liability. I highly recommend you move that to $500,000. And if the carrier we have you, it goes to $1 million, we go to $1 million. And let me tell you, dog bites are the most common home claim that we see inside of our agency. And the average payout is north of $100,000. So it's all about education, and you can only educate people through good communication.
So emails are for information, phone calls are for communication. Makes complete sense. You're a big agency. You've got thousands, probably tens of thousands of clients. Let's just say households, between households and businesses, all get a phone call. Do you segment that? Is there if they're under a certain premium threshold, is this going to be used with AI, or what does this look like?
We tried it always. You know what works best? Calling all our clients every single year. That's what works the best. It's not sugarcoating. I know people say, but it's not weight bearing, or it's not financially, the right choice. My largest clients have come from some of my smallest clients. We're the largest writer of FedEx parcel delivery in the United States. Yep. And it's amazing when some of the agents are like, yeah, I got this $300,000 account from a $25,000 account. It was a referral. That's the way the ball bounces, right? So we went back to calling everybody. We're not a big monoline agency. We feel that monoline actually hurts a client because they're losing discounts. If you have the home without the auto, you're losing a discount, right? There's multiple discounts you could end up losing. That monoline business, and to think of it as just an A client is wrong. What are we doing to pick up that phone to say, hey, Callan, I want to give you a call. Hey, we got your auto. Hey, did you end up purchasing a house? You were talking about, yeah, actually I did purchase. Great. I would love to be able to add some discounts to your auto. And how we do that is bundling the two together. Not only is it better for you pricing, in a lot of cases, it could actually be better for you in making sure the liability doesn't get in a snag.
Whether it makes financial sense or not, you believe that it ultimately does, because the A's can become double A's or triple A's, whether it's from referrals or they just grow their business. It doesn't really matter. They can get there. Eric, I've been excited to get this on the books and dive into a couple of things. You guys are over a $20 million agency. You're driving 270 new inbound leads a month without any cold calls or anything like that. You over doubled your policies per household, which is pretty incredible. What does that exact system look like? Is it when somebody's coming up for, well, let's say they're coming up for renewal, or it's a win-back campaign, Is that a series of emails, phone calls?
Well, we have a very detailed but not complicated renewal journey. We have a renewal questionnaire. It's just like a gravity form. And it has, the questions that we want, the questions that we feel like are important. The last question is, hey, I see we have your home. Where's your auto? Callan calls and you got your home, your auto, your RV, and your boat, right? So we created needs check boxes. And then those needs boxes, whenever the form submitted, get pushed into Agency Zoom and automatically populates a needs tag. So if we write your home and auto today, for some reason we didn't get with the RV or whatever, right? If we write your home and auto today, we take off those two tags and we leave needs RV, so we can come back and pick that up later. The end goal is that everybody generates opportunities. Everybody generates cross sells, right? We have an acronym. It basically stands for greet, verify, gather, execute, close. So greet the insured, verify who they are in our system, and then gather what they need, execute whatever they need, mortgage update, auto update or whatever. And then the closing, we have 5 ways to close a call. Basically, are you following us on social media? What else do you have inside that needs to be insured? Did you leave us a Google? Have you left us a Google review? Have you downloaded the carrier insurance apps? And then the 5th one is, basically client referral. Do you know anybody that could benefit from our services?
If somebody's asking you and they're saying, Eric, we're looking to start our cross-sell process, what's the first piece of advice that you're giving them?
I would say call every one of their carrier reps and request a monoline home or a monoline auto list. We take that list and then we dissect it pretty quickly. What did we do in the past? How we quote in the past? What it is. And then we just throw some automation in there real quick. We don't make it complicated. And then we throw a task for the agent to call. And then you just attack it.
Clint, I'm excited to have you on the show. We've known each other for now pretty long time within the industry. One of the reasons that I wanted to have you on the show was to talk through driving adoption of that product with an insurance agency. I think there's a lot of companies that are out there, whether if they're on the warranty side, if they're on the home security side, or a lot of people want to work with an insurance agency because they've got the trust, they have the access to the customer. They're already being a risk advisor in there, depending on the agency. I guess that could be a little debatable, but for the most part, that is the kind of the key role. And you're going in there and you're doing this. You're able to break through the mold of the standard in the P&C market, auto home umbrella offering. So I want to start there. How did you start to crack through that? And what was it that made agencies say, okay, this is worth my time? Because that's ultimately what it comes down to.
Your average producer and CSR inside of an agency, they get paid to clock in. They do their job at 5 o'clock, they clock out, and they go home and they don't think about work until the next day. And they want to be able to just rinse and repeat that day in and day out without having major disruptions to their world. And when you bring in a new product or a new system, now they've got to do their day job and then learn these additional things. And so where that becomes important and why I made the decision to join Fair over an auto warranty carrier over another line of business is because it is a simple product to learn and sell. I don't have to train you as a producer or CSR how to understand a completely different discovery conversation, how to cross-sell into a line that's completely unrelated to anything you've ever sold before. Because talking to somebody about their finances, talking to somebody about death, talking to somebody about family planning is very different than talking to somebody about what their liability limits and deductibles should be on auto insurance. And so that's a really hard switch for a lot of producers in the independent channel, where we have built a industry generationally here where I'm a P&C agency only, I'm a life and health agency only, and we don't cross over. And so warranty is kind of that cheat code for that piece of it, because we're not saying you have a separate sales conversation. We don't present it as that for these agency producers. We present warranty almost as an endorsement conversation. So if I'm selling you auto insurance and it's Callan, hey, our next steps right now, we're going to talk about your comprehensive and collision coverage. This pays to fix your vehicle if it's damaged in an accident. You have a deductible for that. What would you like your deductible to be? Great. By the way, if your vehicle breaks down, there's no coverage for that under your auto insurance because it wasn't caused by an accident. The average engine repair is about $3,500. Would you want to pay for that out of pocket, or would you want somebody else to pay for that? Great. I'll add the vehicle breakdown protection for you. That's the sales conversation.
And so playing that back, life insurance, different. I got to learn something different. Got to get a different license. I have to think about this differently. For auto warranty, it fits right in. If I'm selling this, I should be selling this, essentially. Is that correct?
It's complementary. I don't have to talk about a different topic. I'm still just talking about protecting your car against risk and against potential loss that you as a consumer are having related to driving your vehicle.
I've got a lot of respect for warranty companies and what they do, but not everybody does.
No, most people don't.
Warranty, the word warranty has a stigma to it. How do you get around that?
Just like what we talked about, it's you're not leading with, hey, by the way, we've got an auto warranty product that can protect your car if it breaks down. And separate from your auto insurance conversation, right? You're not having two separate conversations. You're weaving in, hey, if your vehicle breaks down, would you want breakdown protection? You're talking about covering an actual need and exposure for the consumer and helping them solve a problem that they would have, which is that out-of-pocket cost of fixing their car, versus trying to just sell them another product in a awkward transition of, hey, now that we've taken care of your car insurance, let me talk to you about these 10 other products we have. We've got financial planning, we've got life insurance, we've got warranty, we've got hospital income policies, right? We've got this whole menu of things. What would you like to talk about? That doesn't work from a cross-sell standpoint. You've got to find products that are complementary to each other. And as you're having that needs-based conversation, you're uncovering those needs in a natural, organic way through the conversation of protecting your client. And that's where auto warranty is a really nice complement to auto insurance without competing with your existing book and with your existing partners.